Uh, Welcome, RK. Welcome to the Vividello podcast. We have RK, short for Radhakrishna, by the way. Yeah. I have known RK from quite some time. Actually, he got introduced to us through Experience Wave because back then I think he had, he was mostly looking at how to grow or from the mentorship perspective. He had contacted Murad. So that's how we started our introduction, how we started to know RK mostly. So yeah, RK is a business analyst turned user experience designer. He's been in some big firms up until now. Even now he's working with Salesforce. So yeah, I this conversation is mostly about trying to understand what actually happens in these big organizations, and the audience also caters to, they also want to understand, okay, as a user experience designer, how do you fit in there, and what is it that happens in a real time and all of that. So before we get into the nitty-gritties of it, I'd like you to give a introduction about
Sure.
yourself. Yeah, and then we'll take it ahead.
Well, first off, thanks for having me, Almas and Sheikh. I still remember back in time when I first signed up for Experience Wave. My first call was with Murad saying, "Hey, right now I need a bit of directions," and I was happy to be amongst your first few enrollees.
Yeah.
In your cohort.
Yeah.
I think it made a significant difference to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
on that note,
Mm-hmm.
I'm Radhakrishna, also known by RK. Uh, it's been around like 9.5 years with working as a business analyst, also as a UX designer.
Okay.
And again, like I don't have a formal degree in design. I am a mechanical engineer, and it's been a journey. I can tell you that has had learning on all phases of day that I've been to.
Yeah.
I started off with PwC. It's a consulting firm.
Yes.
And design itself was very different there. You have deadline based designs.
Mm-hmm.
Probably this week you're working for aviation, and the next week you're found working for an investment bank,
Okay.
and probably the next week you're working for aviation. So you get billed by the hour. So this was my first hands on design.
Okay.
And it came at quite challenging experience because people were already there.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they hire people from an established institute or someone who's seasoned into handling crime. So I think I got a great kickstart there.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, I got a chance to join SAP Labs here in Whitefield office.
Mm-hmm.
I had a small stint of 2.5 years with SAP.
Mm-hmm.
It was different coming from a consulting background. Designs can get challenging, and you need to be the person with multiple hats.
Mm-hmm.
For someone like this, looking up to an institute or a conglomerate like SAP was very enlightening because I could see structure, I could see organization, I could see flow. So I got a chance to work there specifically for digital supply chain, maintenance management, and plant maintenance. Mentioning these because I'm a mechanical engineer.
Oh yeah.
I felt like, okay, dots do connect. So it was easier for me to grab this domain.
It was a full circle for you.
Yeah, it felt that way.
Okay.
So it was easier for me to grab the domain, and hence I could also register myself as a user experience research associate, which I formerly did at PwC, but there was no entitlement. Being recognized as this, I got a chance to talk to users who are in the pit lanes of Formula One.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
with one of the research products that we had.
Mm-hmm.
It went quite well. I was able to talk to them about how did they understand timing and how much of an interface can make an impact to their decisions if they have to swap something. So that was a near close experience. But as a takeaway, what I take from SAP was designing something for someone who is less scared about. Talking about the blue collared users or the people who work into mining, manufacturing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think accessibility and usability kicked in for me. That was something that I started to empathize more nearly in SAP. With that, I was able to register for an innovation. I registered for an IP through SAP Labs. Okay. And I think it's still in progress. And then I've moved on to Informatica, where I got a chance to join as a lead user experience designer. I chose Informatica because it was mid-sized. The hard-earned experience from consulting told me was, hey, things are too challenging here, and you need to look at the clock while you're designing. But when I moved to SAP, I could see structure, I could see things moving and processing, but it took its own time since it's a very large institute. And SAP, then Informatica was a good fit because it's a mid-sized New York Stock Exchange listed company, which had not as big as employees as SAP had, lesser structure than SAP. I'm talking about the design maturity, but then more to influence, which means I could take care of a lot of things when it comes to associating or empathizing with the user. And of course, it's a very interesting domain in today's time and age where artificial intelligence, data management, agentic AIs, these open doors for me to try out an entirely new domain where I would solve for tech. Before this, my users were pretty different. And now my users are software engineers, principal architects, solution engineers, and of all sorts. Quite a journey, because now earlier this year, I guess I was promoted to being the principal designer. Thank
I remember you. I think you had called him up regarding, you were up for promotion. So how do I pitch? How do I talk? And all of that. I think he had a few things to tell you, and then
And then he forgot about me. And I'm like, so after a month, he says, Murad, did I see it on LinkedIn? No, I don't think so.
I think I
spoke
contacted
and
you.
then, we spoke and then we got.
Yeah, I didn't forget you.
Yeah,
True. The thing is, like, it was a very interesting conversation. My boss asked me, like, you have a chance to get promoted. Do you want? It left a question mark in my mind. Does anybody ask?
they do.
That's when I called Murad. Hey, I got this question, and what do I talk? He said, say yes. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Then that conversation went in a nicer way, I feel, and today it's been good. So overall, I guess 9.5 years into design. Along with that, I'm a mentor from the past 5 years. Bangalore School of Design, Design Lab. Got a chance to even collaborate with you guys.
So the moment when RK said that he also collaborated with Bangalore School of Design, he is from Bangalore School of Design at this point of time. So we have Anas on the other side, folks. He helps. He's helping with almost everything from setting it up to editing to everything. And we definitely will have some Gen Z based conversations someday.
Lined up someday. Definitely would like to see what are their perspectives on life. They have a different approach. So I would like to plan for that as well.
Some other day, perhaps. And anyway, I enjoy having a conversation with a Gen Z.
Right now, I'm talking to someone from the cabin crew of Emirates in Dubai. She's a Russian national, and now she's moved to Dubai, wants to continue in Dubai, doesn't want to go back to Europe. So I'm helping her find job in the Emirates. Not Fly Emirates, but UAE and Dubai and everything.
For user experience.
Yeah. She wants to start off as, again, an intern or an associate role. But again, the backgrounds are pretty different.
Yeah.
So she's handling a different set of users.
So this is interesting, is it? I don't think we have tried to explore any place outside India in order to position. We kind of very clearly speak about the fact that our ability to build a personal branding or the careers are limited to getting a job within India. So how different could this look like for Dubai market, especially for designers, if you have dealt with them?
See, one thing I can understand is Dubai doesn't get as much as competition as Bangalore or places like a high-tech, place like Hyderabad or Bangalore right now in India could compete for a particular job. Oh,
Yeah, so because we a little firstly too much populated and we have a little too many designers around.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a UX designer. So you
and
don't
the
actually get to
background
see-
of applicants in India are mostly from India. Different parts of India, different regions. Come along, fall in line. Okay, a set of a set of people from the same country or background are looking for a job. But Dubai is a funneled market. Yeah. You can be from Europe, you can be from Singapore, you could be from Korea or India, and then all of them are in the queue for the job.
Are you saying that the opportunities also are higher? Because I mean the entire world is kind of, I mean, from different places of the world people are trying to come in. Are the opportunities also equal to the number of people trying to get into the roles?
Yeah, there are two ways to look at it.
Okay.
In India, I think we have a population problem, and then we want to cater to our own needs first.
Yeah.
That's not the entirely situation with the Middle East.
Okay.
So people who hire in Middle East are also coming or growing in size and capacity, as well as the people who want a job are moving to UAE for the same reason.
Yeah.
Which means there's more number of opportunities, more number of welcome notes, versus the ratio to the applicant is much fairer for your skills. Like, I mean, certificates nowadays are like just just like a tag.
Yeah.
But then, will a tag get you better value in a competitive market here or the market in UAE? I feel UAE has a better chance to.
Now that we have hit on this particular point, right, RK, there are a lot of folks who are open to working almost anywhere in the world. If you would like to drop in a line to all these people who are seeking out for roles, not just limited to Dubai, but I kind of feel like Dubai is one of those places that people would want to definitely go to because we don't have much of a timeline difference as well. We are like, what, 4 hours behind them?
Yeah. It's like one Yalanka and back.
Because he just came from Yelahanka, so it's a different city altogether. Yeah. And if you had to apply for a role like that, do you want to like put some light on how should they get started? What exactly could they get stuck at?
Basics, right? Like you need to be ready to know what kind of a role you're going to tap into. You should have some preference. Like if you want to work in tech, or if that's been your go-to, or if the background of yours is more, creates a better narrative for this arm where you want to move or transition to UX. So I want them to be aware of where they want to go to, at least have an idea. And then based on the idea, we can, set up profiles, like be it a LinkedIn profile, a resume, or be it a presence on any networking events. So that's what I say to few of my students who are placed globally, is not to miss an opportunity where you can network or talk to people, be it a national conference or international conference or just a school huddle. If you go out and talk, learn more about the terrain or the landscape that you're looking at, or just shake hands,
Before we move ahead, I'd like to understand, why did you pivot towards UX from being a business analyst?
Can I just add one more thing? Sorry. Because we started with a question, like, how might Dubai market be explored by, say, an Indian to get into UX design? The first thing that you said is identify as to what exactly do you want to do, have a goal structured. Are there particular differences that we should be looking out for if we have to apply for roles over there? Or because we get to see a lot of positions open even on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
Do you want
Anything
people
different?
Anything different, like
from the approach of what you do in India?
Right. Yeah, because we don't have cover letters over here. Are these important when it comes to Dubai?
Yeah. So Dubai, let's not particularly talk about Dubai. Let's talk about how it is happening in Germany or even the UK or even far west, that is San Francisco or the eastern side, New York line. All of them have pretty much come out from a standard background where the approach is understood on how do you meet the standards. the standards there particularly, if you ask for someone who's just out of the university, it's about find LinkedIn people in LinkedIn, go connect on Mars and talk to them and make a CV and resume. Make a resume. I remember from the classes.
Guys, it's not called curriculum vitae, it's a resume when you apply for a job.
Especially in the technical field. Yeah.
And then you come up with a cover letter to that. But if there's a set standard template, I wouldn't say there is. It's just that know what the job talks about. Like once I take a look at LinkedIn or how descriptive the employer is about the job. Like if all fields are set, if they give you who the recruiter is, if they are talking about what do you have to do, how do your first few days might look like, who's the manager or what the kind of team you're going to. I think it's a good clue for the applicant or the aspirant or the designer to take a chance to do his homework better. So he understands, okay, these are the kind of products that I'm working on, or these are the products that the team is. Can I just do a Google search, or can I just paste this on an LLM search and then see what this kind of means? Can I look into the competitors? How do I relate myself to it? Do I like it? And then these points go straight back on the resume, right? Or on your cover letter, or in a letter where you say, hi, I'm RK. So mentioning these points, I'm not even talking about the ATS. I'm talking about the human connection that you try to build in a world where you just have forms and labels. Right? So, but once I don't see a job description mentioning the team, very generalized UX opinion, I ask them, okay, are you okay to start somewhere where there might not be a certain level of maturity that you're expecting for a designer? I advise them that, okay, and then if they are in dire need, okay, please go ahead and then go there and try to be the change. Try to make processes, try to get in structure.
Back to RK as to how did you pivot towards UX?
Well, honestly, I got to know UX because of a wrong turn. It's a very interesting story. I'll try to.
First off, how did you land up being a business analyst after doing mechanical engineering?
All right. Do I have to be honest now?
They want to know. They deserve the honesty.
Obviously, I come from a mechanical background, right? So you're not in for you watch long queues where your colleagues or where your classmates from computer science, information science
are getting through.
Yeah, you see them and what's happening there? This placement. Okay, what's happening here?
Nothing on
Just
mechanical.
finish my labs and heading to my canteen.
Yeah.
Especially, you get to wear a different uniform when you go to the
mechanical setup, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's kind of intense inside the room.
Yeah.
You see, like, you have to forge metals and make something out of it. So, out there, I got a chance to interview with PwC.
Okay.
It was a walk-in. And I screamed to the HR that, hey, I really want to try this one out. For me, the idea was, joining something as prestigious as the Big Fours or the consulting firm will give me the kind of exposure. It's much higher on the consulting rank. I always wanted to take a feel, and if it's my first job, why not? So I signed up for the role of a business analyst then, where I collaborated with the product team from the client. Someday, when it was as usual as things were in my job, I got a chance to talk to someone from the product team. And then there were times when they were in my campus, in the office campus back then, saying that, hey, what's up? This is something we are testing out. Why don't you join us for a quick 15-20 minute thing? So there was an incentive. So obviously, incentives are good for user research. So I enrolled there. And I understood that they do kind of a work where they want to understand my behavior, my feeling when I click a button or when I choose not to click one. And when I question them, like, why do you need this? They wanted to talk about the metrics which allowed them to say that the job is complete. That's when I got my chapter 1. But design, going back in timeline, I think design was something that I'm closely associated since my childhood. Like any newbie back then, even now, why do you like design? Because it's creative. It's all colors. I get to do a lot of creative stuff, right? So definitely that part, but also Why design is because it had an intent to solve, not remain an art. So I think that kind of a push helped me throughout my schooling and even in my engineering as well. Tracking back to engineering days, there were, I mean, if any mechanical engineer is watching or if you guys are relevant to the background, that we have design labs.
Yeah, you guys.
Machine design, apparatus design, you have to do all sorts of tests on it, fatigue, stress, strain, all that. And then usually back then, we had this lab that ran 4 hours straight, where you start with sketches and then you kind of move it to a software, simulate it, see a problem, open your calculator, the scientific calculator.
Oh, yeah. Very expensive. Yeah.
You get some answers and then you put it back to the system and change your design. This happens in the lab.
Yeah.
I was able to come out of the lab in around 90 minutes time. Okay. And the results were all accurate and right.
A 4-hour lab turned to 90 minutes or 1.5 hour. Okay.
So that's where I felt, okay, there is something in me that can do design or solve problems differently or quicker.
What were the relevant things from you being a business analyst that you carried towards you being a user experience designer? Like Murad says, shifting skills. What did you carry with you?
Business analyst involved a lot of report generating, a lot of deep research. If something's changed, it asked me, it demanded to look for details and make sure the details are right. Because one wrong detail, I think, would change a lot of metrics, right? So sometimes I also had to go fetch data on the public domain as well. Now what we call the secondary research or second order research, right? So I got a chance to do that extensively. So I think that skill still helps me in my user research, or if I want to understand a market segment, or if I want to get deeper into who are these users and how is the money looking for this particular industry. Is the cash flow good, or there are investments lined up, or is there an order value that the demand tries to supply? So it helps me understand, okay, this industry is good for me to participate in because it can see growth in the next coming years, and I can be a pretty much important part of the growth story. And then I try to see, okay, maybe this signing up for this offer letter or not signing up. So the part where you do research, right? I think that was the major transition. And then back in consulting, like I said, today you speak to a client from e-commerce, and then tomorrow you end up speaking to somebody from defense, and the next week it's probably an investment bank. So learning and unlearning. Right, today I think for a UX designer, you plug him into any room.
Yeah. That's the beauty of you being a UX designer. You get to fit into any domain you're put into. Although there is a learning curve with everything that comes. Yeah.
People often talk about the learning curve, but I think there's also something to do how you exit a particular domain or how you unlearn a certain stuff to start learning new things. That's what I learned from PwC, because solving for e-commerce might be different, because we want users to come in, things to look a little poppy, things to look a little lucrative. Add and checkout should be the minimum distance. Versus in an investment banking environment, where you want to track things, you want to see prediction, you want to know how things are currently. So I'm catering to something different. So I have to unlearn a particular mental model to adapt to a newer mental model, because I cannot copy what works for e-commerce and I think that's where one of the futures for design will head to, is designers, I think, will be identified as design SMEs, domain SMEs, and things get easier to hire.
So you mean organizations will look for subject matter experts in the domain to hire more than a UX designer who comes with all kinds of experience? Or
having a designer with all kinds of experience is good, because you get a fresh perspective. But I have already seen, and it's when you said, could this be the possibility where companies might look out for domain specific designers? It's already happening in my company. I ask when we are out on hiring, if you get a notification that okay, there's an interview lined up or you have to scout. We usually inquire like, are you familiar with the current jargons that I'm looking? Are you familiar with APIs? Are you familiar with integrations? Have you handled data management?
Is this primarily because you get to deal with developers a lot?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, developers a lot, but also knowing the domain uh, can help you talk, be more participative or proactive. Yeah. Not just with the dev team or even the consultant marketing guys.
While I kind of actually see a lot of value in designers actually understanding as to what domain would entail, right? Why I see it from both the perspectives. The first part is there are a lot of times where designers have this ability of creating solutions and not being sure as to whether it would really work in that particular stream or not. And what do they do is they start relying upon the stakeholders who might have a lot deeper domain understanding, who could be from technology team, product team or so. And when that kind of dependency is brought in amongst different stakeholders, it always is the fact that they'll not be able to drive any decisions which could be followed through, because they always have to go and check as to
There's a lot of codependency.
yeah, and that's the first part. But also I kind of believe like if you are shifting from one domain to another and you have actually done this for a lot of domains around, right, it gives a lot of mind space to be very creative. Like what you have been able to learn from say a banking segment where maybe security parameters were really important. Now you will start looking at it from that angle when you go into a space where security was not taken into account that deeply, but then you already have been able to build that kind of mind space. Now you know as to how you should actually take that into account. Same is the case with accessibility as well. I think there are gine chune domains where it's really taken very seriously. For example, medtech, health tech or so. But then there are of course many other people who are making use of even a banking application as well. But do you care about it unless someone comes and penalizes you? You won't. But you already have started to think about it because you have just moved away from a health tech into a med tech domain as well. So I see that you definitely need to get a lot more deeper domain knowledge in order to drive a lot deeper good decisions over there. But also does not really mean that you just get stuck with one single domain
Not at all.
itself.
Not at all. Yeah. You're absolutely right, because when you say the word stuck, I think it's not a great feeling.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to be stuck. So if you see growth in it, I think it's better. Like, you've been, it's about a personal feeling, like how we want to be looked at. Like okay, in one of my products is that we've been working on the builder canvas. The canvas can be anything. Like, if you're finding canvas word a little alienated here, canvas can be anything. The canvas that we have for Figma or the canvas that we have for Miro. Similarly, there are canvases that help you build process, right? And we moved to a point where, because of the domain knowledge I had for designing a better canvas, I directly got a hit or a chance to work for a net new product, which is the AI agent builder, agentic workflow builder is what we call it, wherein we are moving from deterministic systems to non-deterministic systems. I'll tell you what the difference is on a very high level. Deterministic systems is like input, process, output. Right? There are rules, there are guardrails. Everything that you've given, that's my limitation. But it gives you an output. Enterprise and B2C products who make processes available are familiar with deterministic. Right. Now, talk of transition. Slowly, I guess, we are more getting more aware about how the user behaves when we have a non-deterministic. When I say non-deterministic, there is scope for context. Right. Context can be who I am, what have I been asking to the internet from some time, what do my browser tells me about. Okay. So if I ask the system to take a look at my context, it will probably give me a more centric result to my ask.
Right.
Context also has a chance to make the reply not look like a rule book, but a chance to make it better with more humanized or speaking to your human kind of a factor in a very simple word. So as we see enterprise also wanting to go to non-deterministic, the challenge is where does the spell that work for B2C workflow builders, agentic workflow builders, work for B2B agentic workflow builders? Some B2C agentic workflow builders could be as simple as tweet this for me, which means you must have your Twitter account configured, then get in the API key, and then the next thing is you need to give in the tweet, or you can ask the context that, okay, this is my context, look for certain information outside and generate a 10 tweet thread for me, like tweet 1 of 10, tweet 2 of 10 if you've come across. So this is one of the most common use cases. Like recently being able to make a Google Calendar invite for myself and to a cousin of mine who was recently married. We had to do the dance planning. So this helped us sync our timeline. So we are very much aware of what B2C use cases are and what criticality it carries. So even if there is an error, the user will still know, okay, I may not have to depend on the workflow. I will personally go to Gmail, then go to calendar, then look for his email and then make an invite and then done. So I know a flow.
Yeah.
But when you move to B2B now, things get critical. We're talking about databases.
Okay.
We're talking about transferring information from probably AWS. And then you also want to extract information from, let's say, what do you call, like an on-prem thing which you have in your office. And then you want to connect both of them and take a look at what you can do next. And then you're depending on the context now, right? So that's where we move to understanding what are the error types or what kind of hallucination where the agentic AI might turn into. Right? That's an interesting space because while we started to build or started to create these experiences for Canvas, right? We got a chance to play around organizations' data, where we try to move things and all that, and we asked people to move things here and there, right? Suddenly, what I could see is if you ask the same person to write a prompt for something that he feels personal,
Okay.
maybe he's using Gemini, maybe he's using Perplexity. The way he would approach prompt writing there is casual and he's okay being casual there. But when it comes, when I ask him to do a prompt which can solve, which can create a workflow for him, he gets, he wants to be very sure of every word that he's wanting to type. That is the initial level of behavior that we could see on the behavior into the user. Follow-ups. The next thing was follow-ups, right? Like give a prompt to the system and like something like, let's say you say something to Gemini and Gemini, you say like, hey, what's the weather in Bangalore today?
A very casual one.
Yeah, you get a casual answer saying the weather is this. And then maybe based on your context, it can ask you, is there any particular region of Bangalore that you need the temperature or the want to know about the weather for? Then I probably say, talk to me about in Jayanagar. So then it kind of tries to search if it can get me data from Jayanagar. Happening or not happening is the next story. But it made a follow-up. But once you give that follow-up, things kind of change for the system. Compare that to a B2B model. Follow-up there can be tricky, right? Yeah. A follow-up can change a few definitions that you had previously. So we had to work on that and trying to make the agent understand that, okay, don't ask for follow-ups was one of our initial jabs. So we had to face days where we say, don't ask follow-ups. Just take what we have given you and then try to come up with something. Because we want to increase the muscle, of the contextual muscle of the agent.
But then you end up making it assume a little too much and get a lot of unnecessary answers. That was mostly just so that you could let it learn.
Yeah, initially, right, like if you want an agent to solve things for you, like, as a user, I need to have the confidence that okay, it will take care of any unnecessary information I'm giving and only consider what the intent is. So I think this cliff for us to achieve was important for us, and that's why he had the stopper saying that don't ask follow-up questions, just listen to me for now. And then that naturally changed when we saw muscle coming up, we saw things stabilizing. That changed to okay, we can take off this guardrails that we had for level 1, and then we can have newer guardrails saying don't go right, go left. Right. So why I'm telling you this is like how we went from a determinist system where you don't have to worry about this to a system where we want to promote context, promote more what the AI can do, how the AI can bring in more context. How does the AI know what process you did last week? And AI can ask you like, is this something very similar? Because I can do this better. We want the AI to come up with such level of learning. And I think it happens over a period of time, and it is happening for us that way.
What could be some movies that user experience designers are supposed to watch no matter what?
Wow.
And if that has influenced you to become a better UX designer or designer?
Maybe we can have this question like for the room. Yeah, for the room.
For the
Yeah,
room,
yeah.
Mhm.
So I can get more context.
Yeah.
Recent movies. No time to watch movies. Although we've been rewatching Stranger Things because I know it's not in context with user experience, but then that's the talk of the town right now. So we watched the recent episodes and then we were like, okay, let's go back and just, try to connect all the dots because it's been a while.
I am just trying to create some parallels between like the up and the
Upside and the
upside and the
downside.
downside, because then the light flickers, it displays that kind of effort instead. Okay, there's somebody else who is on the other side as well. So visibility of system status, guys. Yeah, so that's why I was Stranger Things. Anas, are you okay with this joke? Does this make sense to the Gen Z out here?
He got the riz.
It is.
Someone,
Okay.
it's just a joke. Okay, like someone with the name Rizwan is probably the luckiest guy right now. He's got the riz, is Rizwan. Yeah.
I am supposing that he's doing justification to his name, though.
Yeah. Do you know anyone of Rizwan?
I know Rizwana.
Also, she might have some riz as well. Any Rizwanas who are watching, please do comment. Yeah.
Nice city.
Result oriented.
Result oriented.
Wow. I mean, UX designers are not serious at all.
No.
I mean, you should look at them. They should be like, मैं करता क्या हूँ यहाँ पे?
You should look at the devs looking at UX designers. ये क्या बोलेगा मेरे को?
Yeah, सब पता है मुझे. And because you make use of a little too much of coding language, I saw you doing it, right?
Okay.
Is this because of the kind of industry that you have worked with, or is this because of the BA role that you have handled in the past, or because that's not what UX designers do mostly? They talk more from the lines of say users. थोड़ा सा business का बात कर लेते हैं, बहुत थोड़ा, बहुत कम. More on colors, yeah. अरे मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. ये pink color क्यों किया? थोड़ा सा blue चाहिए था.
Yeah. I mean, see that those are the downsides. Now that's what is the difference between a good UX designer and a bad, I mean, not up to the mark, an average UX designer, I could say.
No, sorry. What do you mean by that? I mean, do you need to have the...
You're not just supposed to be thinking of colors, not just supposed to be thinking of the looks of it. You need to know what comes at the backside as well, because
It goes under the iceberg.
Under the iceberg, like from the dev perspective as well, having the knowledge, knowing, being aware of your setup. Like he just said, devs look at you like what is he going to say now? You shouldn't be that person. You should know how to. You shouldn't let them think of you that way. Okay.
Amaz, I kind of feel like, okay, this is up to challenge, and you can really tell me as to where this goes, right? UX designers are supposed to be insane. They cannot create boundaries around them. The boundaries are to be created by people who are set to create boundaries. And what really happens is the moment you start having such kind of boundaries, like, oh, but this is not possible by the development, the coding part, right? Where is the creativity then? Like, how exactly are you even going to go ahead and then create new ideas? I kind of feel like you need to have knowledge about where the coding is going, but also not in such a way that you could actually sit and code as well. That's me. I
kind of add to that, like, you may want to continue, but give me a minute.
Yeah, please go for it.
So while I was in my gym last week, there was a new portrait that they added. Like, usually you have this gym quotes, no pain, no gain. And something very different came along, which caught my attention. Columbus saw the land without a telescope. I take that very strongly because the world did not ask for an iPod. But who knew that's the next thing they might need. That's done out. So somewhere when how creativity can impact is, if nobody had creativity back there, if they had to see a land to move the ship there, I don't think
they would have ever explored.
Yeah, innovations would be very less.
Humans even didn't need a car, but then they got it because they just needed a horse.
Yeah. Thanks. But that's a spot on term. I also actually take back my words as well. I think when you go a little too much on the edge of exploring and trying to create new things, we will also create certain Martian space vehicles which will never be really created, and does not make sense, right? So this is where I think the process of design really comes in a picture. You got to have a space where you're going crazy, not being limited by what are the constraints, but also you got to come to a stage and then say कि like, okay, अब यहाँ से जो भी मैं बना रहा हूँ, that has to be implemented. It has to see the day of light. And that's where I think a little bit of convergence towards creating something that is tangible in nature has to start coming up. So you got to be crazy. You also got to have the knowledge, like you said, about whether it will really be built by people, because I only create ideas. I cannot really convert them into the real working setup. Yeah. I don't know, why did I even start with this? Because of the coding language nuances that were being used.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least for coding, it's always a good to have. In the job description, I extensively, when I'm particularly in charge of hiring or looking at it, I don't particularly look for if he knows coding or not. Maybe what I've been hiring so far is on the roles where that can help me or that can help my boss handle systems, right? But how having that knowledge can help me is like, it can help you collaborate better, right? Like, you don't have to depend. You might be the guy everybody wants to depend on, or maybe your CEO, like, if you have a few designers and if you can tell them that why this is technically happening or not happening, or where do you see the fault is, the next UX audit will be more detailed and more accurate to pass it to the QA or pass it to the dev team, right? So it will help you be a better engager in the room, a better person, someone who can build a bridge, not a silo in between, collaborate. So, I mean, for me, my job is every day, most of it is collaborate. Right? Yeah. Even if I don't want, I think collaboration is definitely something that happens to me, because if I design something, it has to be vetted by my larger community. It has to run through its own set of audits. That's where then which means that I must have already had a serious level of discussions with the product manager. It means he has to have serious level of discussion with his gang before he comes to me. And then you have to see something coming, and then we have to show this to the dev teams. And then the dev teams, we have to understand where they are coming from, how the systems currently are set up, if there are any kind of debts happening there. How do we deal with that?
Sticking to that, I would just try to understand. We were talking about AI agents, we were talking about collaboration and all of that. I think I also spoke of the fact that how AI has been automating, cutting off a few manual processes at organizations. As a designer, I'm just trying to list down a few tools as you use on a day-to-day basis from the AI perspective.
Okay. So,
Like, at what stage, what kind of a tool is predominantly used? Why in the process of you building something? I know it's more on AI agents maybe you're working upon, but then there is a process for whatever you're building, right? And where are you integrating these tools?
I tried something with Lovable, and I gave some accessibility guidelines or usability constraints that I had. Right, and I was surprised it takes care of it. Yeah, it does.
You love the Lovable.
I just hope it doesn't take my job someday. No. But it's great. Like initially on level of conceptualization, it does a immense job. And even the Figma AI, where you can I think
Make?
yeah, Figma Make, where you are able to connect your design system if you have a pre-existing one, makes your job very easy. Like, N10 is doing a particularly like easy job. I think it's good to have things like N10 around because it helps you configure APIs, services, and connectors
Right.
at the same time. And the best part is it's run on JSON, so it's very easy to understand as well. So N10 has been helping me on the ops side. Yeah.
What have you been using?
Amas, I firstly use ChatGPT because it helps me write mails to you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first part.
No, I'm basically trying to understand from a design processes point of view.
So let's start from say the research part of it. Okay, strategy. Let's start with the strategy, right? I think with respect to strategy, I make use of ChatGPT. I have built a GPT of my own recently, and we're testing it. And I kind of feel like it is asking a little too many questions at this point of time before it could.
Which is required.
Maybe you can say no follow-ups.
No follow-ups. So what am I telling is 5 क्वेश्चन पूछना उसके बाद मत पूछना उसके बाद assume करके देना आप. So I have been doing this. It's coming out well. I think that's where I make use of ChatGPT. Whereas from research, Dovetail is doing really great. Especially from the point that how it is capable of identifying amazing themes, codes, and also give a summary of the entire research. Looks really well. So does SurveyMonkey to quite an extent. SurveyMonkey is so cool that you don't really have to even worry about creating questions now. मैं बना के देगा questions.
SurveyMonkey has become like a standard
or conducting surveys.
It is the initial few parts. We even use it in our product release sometimes.
Okay, to like understand as to whether it is going right.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you mean?
To get feedback.
Yeah, I mean, is it good? Is it bad? Is that what you mean?
It's good. It's pretty much a standard now. Like even if you want to attempt the survey or not.
Yeah, too costly if it goes beyond 10 questions is what I feel like. Google Forms use kar lo aap. Because I think Anas was using Google Forms, and then it also has if you have the Prime of Google, the workspace, and it has Gemini integration. It actually can do a lot more than what we thought Google Forms could do. Oh yeah, so that's with the research. Analysis. Excel in itself has a little, Microsoft, Google Sheets also has a lot of integration at this point of time. Gemini does. And UI design, quite a few. Lovable, Figma Make, and I also have been exploring a little bit on how to make use of Claude to turn this into solutions as well. So that's all just with design, okay? I don't just do design, guys. I also do a lot of marketing. I take care of marketing as well. I create advertisements. I also create a lot of content calendar for the entire organization. Hagen, Gamma. Gamma is amazing. Like I know that it sometimes appears a little too repetitive, but it depends upon the kind of prompt engineering that you could ever use. And it is amazing. Like the way how you could have never thought that you would be able to present a story just comes out in the form of slides. Cool. Very good. Canva. Yeah, it's not that great, but I kind of feel like it just does the job. Yeah, these are certain tools. Yeah, I had been to a startup pitch 2 days ago with Almas.
Yes.
And then that's the only thing that we got to hear out of all the pitches that people are talking about.
Yeah, there's
AI,
AI, in
AI,
everything that they're building.
Khana khana hai? Arey no, wait. I'll have to
There's AI
check
for
whether
that.
AI would allow me to have food or not. And
And the best part is, I mean, I think it was the first time we went to an event like that, and
the startup pitching events, I
startup
mean.
pitching event. A ninth standard student was there.
Eighth standard.
8th standard, 9th standard. Yeah, I mean, a school student was there to understand how pitching works. हम लोग मट्ठी खा रहे थे उस टाइम पे.
Yeah, man. And then she introduces herself to tell ki like, I'm here to understand as to how the Bangalore startup ecosystem looks like.
Wow. She said that?
Yeah.
Oh,
She
man.
said her name and then she said that and I'm like, आजकल बच्चे बदल रहे हैं. I mean, I understand that Gen Zs are uncool that way.
Will the next generation see MCQs? Okay, let's do a time travel. Like
Okay.
10 years from now, what do you think will be non-existent or might be a rare sight? What I don't see a lot nowadays is cash transactions. It's much more on the easier side nowadays, right? So I'm not sure how currencies will go forward, considering cryptos are being widely looked at as a currency of the globe or something, right? Similarly, what I feel is like switches, I think, might get irrelevant.
Yeah, because we're using, we use a remote for operating our fans.
Yeah.
So yeah, agree to that.
And what are your guesses or what are your bets?
If we are on the topic of what we were discussing a while ago, from the business and the job search point of view, I think the number of jobs, I would strongly agree on this. I think we are just trying to hide away behind things saying, "Nah, if you know AI, AI will not take a job." But then I think if AI has advanced to a certain extent from the past 2-3 years, I think 10 years down the line, it's going to be something else.
Yeah. Now I see, I think debit and credit cards are still around us. I feel in the next 10 years, I think the pay has already advanced. The fintechs of the world, the payments of the world. I think even card cutting may also happen.
Yeah, but the logic is still going to remain the same. I think all we could not see is the card, I suppose.
Yeah.
Banking has always remained to be the same thing. Yeah.
So I was recently watching a video on that. The thing is, so I think it's not relevant more to an Indian setup. I think this guy was talking about where credit cards are predominantly used for every transaction. So he was talking about why using cash will not deprecate the value you are paying other than you using a credit card. Okay. So you pay $50 to a guy who you buy milk. Okay. You buy a milk packet. $50 you pay, and that guy takes that $50, gives it to his wholesale vendor. The value remains the same, and that guy takes it for something else, and he gives that $50 to somebody else, and the value remains the same. So $50 ka value remains $50. Now on the other side, this guy was talking about you using a credit card. So every transaction, there's a percentage of that transaction that goes to the bank, right? So if you go in the same flow of what you did with the cash, you use credit card with every transaction, the value of $50 will get deprecated with every transaction. So he was encouraging more on using cash for every transaction. Try the going cardless is a gimmick which banks play so that they are benefited because the transaction amount goes to them.
Spendings may not be in check.
Yes.
As how a cash could be
Yes.
in check. Okay.
And the banks are the one who are profitable. So they are imposing cashless or going away from cards or whatever that is. So going cashless is may seem fancy, but the value kind of is deprecated over the time of the transactions, and they are profitable over time. That's the reason why they are imposing this on you. And it also might seem like, oh, amazing, we don't have to carry cash anyway. But if you look at it from a I think Murad was speaking a while ago as well. Having that cash on hand, gives you so much control about the spending, and you don't just go swiping.
It seems tangible enough. Like, oh, I'm giving something. Like, I have
There is
something in my
value
hand.
to it.
Yeah.
And I think as humans, we've been in India using UPI from 5-6 years now. GPay started it off and all of that. So I don't know about the cash and all of that, but the value, I think people have started overspending behind UPI a little too much because they don't see that money just going out of their hand, right? So I remember carrying $100, $200 in my wallet before.
Wallet size can shrink. They have that feeling.
Yes, that is a very
Phone size doesn't shrink as you.
Yeah.
true.
That's right. Anyway, you can just go and take another loan, and that's going to just replenish your amount. Yeah.
So you are basically just going away from you being undervaluing yourself. Like you're spending so much that you are not aware, and
How much are you worth?
how much you have collected, or the value that you have towards your purchase or towards the spending is getting so much reduced because of that cardless or the UPI transactions. And that's something I think, though seems fancy now, over time I think people will understand the value of it and get back to using cash.
I also feel like the banks are just going to get smarter. They always know as to how to build systems around and then make a fool out of the people in some or the other way, and then bring us back to whatever the banking systems are supposed to be.
I think what I fear is like where cash can go is maybe it will go in the museum.
Yeah.
Because it will look like an art.
Yeah.
And it will be lesser relevant.
I don't know if you guys remember 10 paise ke coins hua karte the.
Yeah.
10 paise, 5 paise. You don't get to see it.
My mom used to.
There's this collector's delight that I participated in Mumbai in 2024. Okay. There, I saw a lot of collectors bringing in coins back then, copper coins from recent past dynasties, or even international coins. Like I had the privilege to understand why they keep it and why do they value it. I like calligraphy. I like looking for details, monograms. They kind of make me want things. If something is of a monogram or something is of an artistic quality or has a good lettering on it, I feel like I should take that piece and keep it with me. And I think currency is a very good example of how artistic a country or a regime can get. Right? I have banknotes of WW1 Deutschland, Germany. It's 1909.
Okay.
And I'm saying it a war note because you go back in calendar and you feel like, okay, how people must have used this currency while bombings are happening, tanks are coming. You get to have the mental memory. Right? Just by looking at the card and dates, I go back. Boom. It kind of has that power on me. Likewise, I have another thing where it's like, it's of the USSR, which doesn't exist anymore, right? It's split. And looking at how calligraphy, how things were understood, how the placement, I am the bearer of XNXX currency, and different sort of lettering used there. I think no digital transaction or digital money can do it.
Yeah, unless it is Dwight Schrute. You guys remember?
Yeah, Dwight Schrute. Yeah, Office.
He created his own currency at one point of time, and then he said that it's equal to $1. You guys don't remember this?
I think I slightly remember.
Yeah, he created his own system, guys. I think that's what you're supposed to do as well. Like, we can put.
That's where we are partially heading, right? Like we have coins named after celebrity or tech leaders, like Dogecoin, for example. I don't want to name anybody, but
So I want to get rid of the stick vehicles. I'm supposing that that's what's going to happen over time as well.
Stick vehicles?
The vehicles which you have to change the gear.
It's already happening. I guess the ratios are changing.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like there are also a lot of people who do not feel manly when they do not make use of their stick vehicles.
Come across them. Yeah.
But guys, get yourself a proper self-driving vehicle and then feel like not even a human in this case because you don't have anything, right?
Okay, stick vehicles. Okay,
Yeah.
what else?
I think the food is gonna change a lot.
Food, think it's going to get healthier. My personal.
I want to believe that. I have been hearing that food that has that's from insects might actually add a lot of nutrition in the upcoming time. Things like eating grasshoppers. You won't even realize that are you eating grasshopper or not, but it could be a part of your food in the upcoming time because it's definitely a lot more nutritious.
What?
Yes, food habits are gonna change a lot. Rice at this point of time is predominantly used, right?
In southern.
I don't want that to change.
Yeah, me too.
Not just in southern India, no matter wherever you go.
Wherever, I mean,
Rice.
Yeah, I mean Asian countries, they use lot of rice, but I don't think North of India uses a lot of rice. They use wheat.
Yeah, but I mean, if you just take the entire world around, rice definitely is something that has.
Not the US region. Mostly the Asian region.
At some point of time, when you take a look at the fact that the population increased while the food contribution that we were giving was less, it's the rice that has changed that game. We have been able to feed the stomachs because of rice, and that's the predominant setup. I think that's going to change the game a little. What else could be? Flying cars could definitely be.
Will they be called cars when it flies?
Because
drones never got called.
Because drones can't drive on the road. These cars can drive on the road as well.
Delivery has come towards the drone delivery, right?
Yeah.
That might probably.
So imagine how. I hope it is regulated because you see the traffic in Silport and all that. Imagine the same traffic on the sky.
Yeah, but then you have like the entire Z-axis, right?
What?
The entire Z-axis. You can have it at multiple layers. And even if the traffic, continues to whatever height it
the
can.
traffic is not in one plane.
Yeah.
It's on.
I kind of feel like you need to have lots.
It's like the layering in a biryani now. Like
Yeah, like the Hyderabadi biryanis.
Yeah.
UX designers might not be called as UX designers. They could be called something else altogether, I suppose, because AI is going to really give them superpowers. And I know that we have this tendency of wanting to shift in multiple ways. I kind of feel like we have taken the jobs of a researcher to some extent. To some extent, we could actually replace even a front-end developer.
Points from every job description.
Yes.
The UX.
And that's what the skill set is. We also could potentially become product owners, product managers. We in multiple places we do that. No matter whichever product management course you go for, you have Figma lega tu seek ke jayega yahan pe. So that is there. I kind of feel like we'll become superpowers. UX designers are supposed to really make use of it in the right context because they are the people who are going to drive a major proportion of business by themselves.
Follow up. So superpower is when you identify someone having superpower. Right? Like you see a Superman, he can fly. That's when you call it a superpower. But I think it's the power that I wouldn't say it as a superpower, but rather the empowerment that AI gives to UX designers. It will be normalized. Like when everybody has it, it's not a superpower.
Yeah, but don't you think like even when don't want to challenge that? I think you make sense to me. Everyone will have access to it, but not everyone would have the idea to use it in the right context.
That's how UPI started. I mean, there will be a time when there will be lesser superheroes and more of common people who know this same skill set. Like imagine having all Supermans, like a house full of Supermans. Who would you call a superhero then?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
No, so do you mean like everybody really will have the power to use it in the equal ways?
No, the whip of innovation, right? The whip of innovation has always challenged humanity to know it better. Moving from design of a wheel to having some domestic animal taking you from A place to B, then seeing a horse doing it better, having horse carts, and then based on horse, having engines named after like horse powers, and then we have electric. So
yeah,
you see there. Although maybe we are at a time where we have a horse cartage, and we are telling ki tomorrow if someone makes car out of electricity will be a superhero, but I think everyone will be there. Yeah. Okay. I don't think it will be a superpower anymore.
So in this case, whatever you say super today might not be super tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a whip of innovation.
And I kind of also feel like we are the people who have maybe struggled with a bit of content writing.
As
Lot of content
designers?
writing, and there is
Mhm.
so much help at this point of time that we get. Like you rarely get to see lorem ipsums at this point of time. That would be too nascent if you make use of lorem ipsums. I'm not telling that everybody is just going to get replaced and then there will be no one as artists who could be writing fiction better stories than AI ever could. But at a general front, you definitely can do a lot better than what you're doing today.
Yeah, you get optimized.
Yeah. Like even SEO as well.
SEO, people thought it was dead. People like, they didn't see a long runway, but
Yeah.
When browsers came out from Perplexity, or when browsers became, when the AI engines became browsers, like, Perplexity, and then you have ChatGPT, Atlas, yeah. What are they? I mean, from what I know, it's Google Chrome, and then it has a skin, because you're logged in all the places. I make your job more easier.
And we will be able to really see through all the specializations that people used to handle through one single eye. I'm not meaning that new things will not emerge from here, which we will again have to adapt it to, because something new always leads to some other variations in behavior and asks as well that we are always supposed to keep looking out for. But definitely looking at the state that we have been and the transitions that we see, we could do a lot more than what we have been doing today. And we have been hungry for that all the time. थोड़ा सा 4 साल जी लिया डिजाइनर बन के प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट सीख लेते हैं.
Are those meta, Revan?
No, these are the normal ones.
Okay. I've been wanting to ask.
The meta ones usually have a lens here and a lens here. So these are the normal ones. The Wayfarers. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. The XR is going to really be predominant in the experience, where your ARs, VRs, holograms are going to become really common. I know that people have been talking about this from the past 5 years, and the progress might really not be that
I
fast.
think we also spoke of flying cars a few years ago. There was some movie back in 2010 which spoke of 2025 mein cars rahenge, flying cars. We don't see them now, but although we predicted, I think that's what you're catching up to.
Right. The latest update, iOS 26 and here forward, is kind of replicates a glass UI, right? It's a fluidic UI, like liquid glass. So the idea about that, when I kind of read about it, is that, okay, it is, the ecosystem is trying to make you ready or see how you behave with transparent systems. Like tomorrow, if you wear the, what do you call, the headgear that they usually have, like Vision Pro, you want to see a lot of things around you, and also want to see in icons coming in, options coming in, tables popping up.
And that's the basic logic behind the glass morphism, the liquid, what you spoke of as
liquid
well.
glass.
Yeah. So the interfaces are going to really be different from what we are seeing at this point of time. Yeah.
Yes, that could be a possibility, definitely.
And what else? I think I'll have a suit that a wearing setup that could actually Iron Man suit, but not like to fight people, but rather it is like I'm getting into, say, Bangalore. अभी थोड़ा सा धूप था, बाहर गया, फिर बारिश होना शुरू हो गया. I don't understand as to am I supposed to carry an umbrella or what, but then I have something that just keeps my body warm, and then it checks as to, oh, your body temperature is
this your
less.
need, or do you think?
I kind of feel like there are already these technologies available that sense the temperature because of the IoT capabilities. I kind of feel like there are going to be there are variables which are available even now as well, but they are going to adapt to the conditions around you and your body, and then.
So basically, what you're trying to tell is, like, it's also how software extension to hardware is going to happen, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're probably talking about the extension. I'm like, how software will finally extend into hardware. Like, our software will tell you, okay, eject raincoat.
Yeah.
Shoop, you're on a raincoat. So that's the part where an interface
I was not thinking about ejector raincoat, but sure, I like the idea.
Please beep it if you
Yeah.
but you get the point.
Yeah.
So software, I think, will shake more hands with hardware. That's my prediction in the next 10 years.
So with the interactions, I just got reminded of one more thing I read, that I just saw somebody talk about the next MacBook that they would be releasing, Apple would be releasing. So it spoke of touch on the screen, like you can touch the screen, the MacBook, to interact. But then I also read, I don't know how far that's true, whatever I read, because I had also heard of the thing that Apple will never create a MacBook which has a touch feature to it, because if it did, iPad will become irrelevant. So so the ecosystem will break, and people want the interaction, the touch interaction.
Mac is either there will be iPad or it will be Mac. I mean,
They don't want to do that
No,
because
but they have actually done this in the past, right? They are the same people who created iPods, and then they also created iPhones with the music systems in order to replace the iPods as well. They have done this.
so they have self-cannibalized. They've cannibalized their own products.
But iPods came at a lower price point in comparison with the iPhones. So it's available for 2,000, 3,000 rupees in India. Yeah, iPods, the small
Oh, the tiny ones.
The tiny ones. It's available, not the ones that look like a phone. Yeah. So the shuffle, that's called a shuffle, the one which I'm talking about. So yeah, where was I? So those were on a lower price point, and them being able to create a phone, and you wanting to pay a bigger amount to purchase and use the same feature on the phone, help them. Right now, iPads are also almost on the price point of a MacBook, a bigger screen, right? So I don't think they would want to play with that, because if a MacBook also has this as the features of you being able to use it like a iPad, the whole usage of iPad and the people purchasing iPad might just go irrelevant, and that might drop the purchase of this device. So
if you see on the other side, Apple has also been critiqued or even been made toward like a business genius for their recent past attitude of let things be. You see, it's selling. It's still the core. It's still the status quo.
it's definitely
Let's
a
just
status
keep
quo.
it that way. Maybe, and the other side, the spec sheet warriors who feel they lose all the features given to their phone. They feel that as technology, Apple needs to prove more than it is actually doing today.
Any thoughts on how AI can change games?
It's already there.
I'm not a
I've been gaming from 1997. Dangerous Dave, Super Mario, Prince of Persia.
Super Mario. I have played.
There was always something that there was context provided in larger sense. Let's say playing FIFA, based on my skills on the joystick, right? The teams would adapt.
Changes your difficulty levels.
Yeah. Difficulty level is basically AI with lesser guardrails. Go defeat the person. And AI with more guardrails, like if I'm just starting on FIFA, I might score 20 goals, but will I be able to score 20 goals with the world class as a level? No. I think it already existed there. It's just how it will surround us now. Like, if I have played that game back then,
Do you think
what are my profiles? Like, if Assassin's Creed has a lot of games or types, like you go to Russia. I mean, there's a version for Russia, there's a version for Egypt. Assassin's Creed. Like, if it's gonna be like a zone, right? If you've completed a version of a,
do you talk? I'm more relating towards the immersion part of it.
to tell you the patterns. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you've completed a game 2 years ago, and if there's an updated game coming, and if the records are being heard and set right, it will know what kind of opponents that I want to give you in the current game, because I have shown my level of behavior on the other way. Today, the level of difficulty is decided on a global average. If the difficulty is on 20%, it is easy. If the difficulty is on 40%, it is medium. If the difficulty is on 60, it is on a probably higher level, advanced level of difficulty. Right? This was set as per a global template. But I think future, the immersive gaming, when you say, the levels will be more confined to me. How did I perform in my previous level, or how did I perform in GTA 5? Just giving an example. For me to know what I'll be presented with in GTA 6. If I had rash driving tickets in GTA 5.
Sure. Yeah.
We all have. Speaking of movies, I don't know about movie, but once a theatrical experience that was totally immersive, something that as a designer or someone who likes the idea of experiencing something, right? I enjoyed the visual, what do you say? It's a symphony that I could see. Uh, Back when in 2024, during May, I was in Las Vegas for a product launch, and it's a global meeting that I am usually a part of. I got a chance to visit the Sphere in Las Vegas.
Okay.
You see, there's a dome.
Yeah.
Right. While I attended that, I was mesmerized, like how sizes of things can look. Like one of the scenes plays a whale in its actual dimension, and the whale comes to you and passes through you, and you feel like, dude, that was whale.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I think you will actually get to explore
the scale.
things that you have not been able to explore almost in a realistic simulation, with so many other dimensions that you could take into account, like the way how you said. Like, we don't actually sense the gravitational pull. I was talking about the games, right? I want to feel that to be on a moon and then maybe hop over there. And I think that's possible.
You want that immersion with
To-
respect to
moving from one
that's
planet
amazing.
to,
to really be there.
Here
Also
it's
see
9
how the wind could be that.
the G levels here are
The
9.8.
G levels. Yes.
There the
yeah.
G level will change.
Yeah. And maybe go through a black hole.
Awesome. I think I like that.
Yeah. I want to feel that without dying. So, yeah.
One such immersive experience I had in here itself, like Bangalore, the movie F1.
Yeah.
I think F1 trailer was out on Apple TV, the application, right? Have you guys watched?
No.
I haven't watched the movie.
No, have you watched the trailer on
No.
Apple TV? No. It has haptic feedback. If you have an iPhone, you feel like if you start the car, it's tick, 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 tick. Yeah, feels like that.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, and then that was, I think, that is some stuff that I feel Apple can.
You also, sorry, if we are going back to the conversation, you also spoke about N8N.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be that would really become common in the upcoming time? There are also other applications as well.
So we moved from LLMs to now agentic AIs. Are you drawing that line?
And I think you spoke about the automation setup over here. That's why I just got reminded of it. If it is not in the sequence, stop me. There is also Pabbly that we make use of, which also helps us really talk from one application to other. Other as well in the same context, not from it also helps you really set up the flows over there. That also could be something that could really get very commonly used in the upcoming time. What are your thoughts?
I think so. Like I said, I worked on an agent builder canvas. Right? It was a net new product for the company that I was associated with. To build something on that scale and having it on a global launch, being covered by media, this and that, it's like a high pressure stake. People have your eyes on you. What will you do to deliver? I'm a designer. I had experiences with my canvas. How did it go? But since I've mentioned we are moving from one set of system where the understanding of the software is a little different to the outcome of what this can be. Right? It's more, like I mentioned, like a deterministic versus a non-deterministic, right? For us, for me, I think to perform my research, N8N was one of the tools where I spent most amount of time on understanding what does this mean. Like, okay, it's helping me tweet, it's helping the other user book something. If you even look at the amount of tutorials are there on video on YouTube's, which are out there for free, And if you just measure the views of a, let's say, of a semi or pre-established channel, the views are proof that the adaptation is happening. And views to a scale are okay. I've even attended a master class which said, I'll teach you 8 use cases in, that's where it gets more personal. Okay. Now the user are starting to get, okay, let me just complete these 8 things to get done with in my automation. And then I will think of doing something on my own. I will try to fly on my own. So this kind of courses are also happening where the mental model is building. It's only a matter of time. I don't know how popular will it be. Will it be as popular as WhatsApp? I don't think so. Will it be as popular as Instagram? No. But will the smart people use it? Are they using it? Will they continue using it? Probably yes.
Or maybe the systems are just going to get a little too easier to even make a normal user start using it as well. I kind of feel that
That's the ease you get with WhatsApp and Instagram. But I think he also added a tag that's smart people, because WhatsApp and Instagram are easy applications and interfaces to interact with. That requires you to build things, and it requires you to think about how logically you want to set things up.
Think about it this way. You have a garage, or you love automobiles, you love cars, you like tuning them, and you find solace when you configure your car to a level where you enjoy driving it. So I'm just plucking the configuration part. If you like configuring things, if you like seeing results based out of your configuration, such people I was talking about, who like to configure things, who
People
like
who
to
like
sit,
to build
dissect.
things.
Like today we talk about different stuff in terms of hardware, but in software it's like debugging. How is a better debug?
Oh, with that, do you mean developers would be early adopters? Because they really get to be on the tinkering side, right?
No, see, things like JSON and all have made it pretty easier to understand something, right? Like protocols and all. MCPs are also coming in the way. If you ask me, do they have a lead at this point? Yeah, I think they have a lead. But will that lead be something that will differentiate humans into two parts? I don't think so.
No, but when we actually look at it from that standpoint, they usually have been the people who deal with technology first. They could be the people who could be actually creating the technology by themselves as well. But that in itself does not make them smart, because they don't solve problems firsthand. They help in solving the problems that have already been solved by somebody else. So I kind of see technology people as enablers. They enable the ideas that someone else has created, and it rarely happens that they themselves have identified use cases, business cases that they could implement.
Yeah, it's the same thing how you draw back, right? If you look at an architectural marvel, right? The person who designed it never built it.
Correct. Yes.
I think it's
Right.
Get the designers are the masterminds of it.
You need a vision. You need visionary people. You need a vision to.
And that's where even user experience designers are looked at as well.
So how I see is, yes, there are also people I have come across amazing technology, coding people as well, who have a very good vision towards identifying a good problem and then solving. But majority really waits for someone to come and give them a direction. One says, like, yes, I actually start from a place where things have been identified, a problem has been identified, a direction to solve it has been identified, an algorithm has been created, and from there I build. So who exactly does all of this part usually comes before even a technology team could ever take it up. So in this particular case, I think AI is just another approach that they are supposed to get accustomed with and use it in order to solve the problem.
Like all innovations have happened before.
Yeah.
I think we are at the whip of innovation right now. Like AI is something that we never thought it would come, but it came. We never thought cars would be a thing, but it did.
I think we have shot up the time by quite a good notch. I think it's time to wrap this up. If there's anything that we would like to explore in 5 minutes.
I can give you a glimpse of what we are trying to solve, because I think I consider myself as someone who's lucky enough to be around systems that involve agentic AIs, integration and stuff, right? And involving new protocols like model context protocol, MCPs, and talking to a lot of different servers coming into one. Where what I see is what I really care, or what people around me really care, is the prompt and its quality. For example, like, okay, let's say AI is like the chef of the world you have, right? I'm trying to put it as convenient as possible.
Yeah,
right?
for the common folks.
For the common folks, right? And imagine that guy can cook anything for you at any point in time, right? But he needs a lot of details from you. When I say details, let's say, for example, if you are someone who likes and appreciates pizzas like I do, I would probably, if I want the AI chef to make me awesome pizzas, I would sit and read about pizzas, the different type of bases pizzas have, different type of grains that they take. Where are the best grains of pizzas coming from? Is it Italy, or do I have to go back to my own backyard to make that grade of grain? If I have to maintain a particular moisture quality, and if I want to bring it out like a healthy pizza or a Neapolitan pizza or a pizza with the best sourdough available, right? I need to know these terms, these jargons. Nowadays, I understand why we say that don't focus on jargons. Jargons are just a way to communicate things. That's okay if we are human to human talking. When I'm talking to you and you're talking to me, probably I'll be okay giving you a simpler definition. But if I'm talking to AI and if I'm expecting results, I need to know the context so deeply that I can tell it in word terminologies and adjectives. And that, I think, is what we are facing currently. And the region where we are puzzled, excited, losing some sleeps, skipping some features for releases, pushing it to next releases, or rethinking about it, is how well is the enterprise user understanding prompting, and how accurate can you get. So, yeah, with that, I think.
If there are people who would like to reach out to you for anything particularly, especially say prompt engineering or anything like that, how can they reach out to you? What can you really guide them, help them with? Do you want to like put some light on that?
Sure. One of the ways you can reach out to me is LinkedIn. I have my profile there, and I'm pretty active. A lot of people reach out to me. I think I have students across the globe. I've helped them. Just for context, I'm currently helping someone who's in the cabin crew of Emirates to get into UX. Likewise, I've even helped people to secure an admit in the university where I think I was given the honorable opportunity to write the letter of recommendation as their mentor. Today, he owns a design studio in South Korea. And there have been even people who've reached out to me who are way matured in the industry, talking to know about how they can increase the maturity of their particular team, or they don't directly involve themselves in the design. How do you speak to a designer? I think these are all a few things that I've addressed, and people have been very supportive and book my time. So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'll be always associated with the Experience Wave in that case. So you can definitely reach out to them, and I'm sure they'll point it out to me.
Yep.
Yeah.